We are live now, Doctor.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for attending and waiting. Our presentation today is about creative tools to improve and success during an innovation project. I know this might be very interesting for most of you, especially if you are working on a project or you are thinking to get into a project. So let us get started. Today we will talk about the 6 questions to success and the NABC innovation model. And also for the college students, we'll talk about tools for capstone projects or innovation projects, okay, or any project in general. So what makes a good project? What does your project do? Is it interesting? So how do you judge that this is a good project or this will be a good project? This actually has many factors, and you should sit with your shareholders or with your team members and discuss among each other that what are the questions, what are the problems you are solving with your project? Is it interesting? Are you going to get answers? Are you going to solve something? And what is the scope for your project, which is really very important. When we talk about the scope, we are talking about who will be affected or who will be involved in your project. Okay. Second question, do you need a team or do you want to work on the project by yourself? Okay, as we all know, one person can walk faster or can run faster, but a team can walk further or run further. Team is always better. And when you are working in a team, you should have the team spirit. You should have leadership skills. You can work on this, by the way. And you can, especially now, while some people might say it's really hard to work now or to make a team while we are doing some of our work online or virtual, but actually you can do a lot. You can do many of your tasks virtually. There are many tools. Like now we are doing this presentation on Zoom. Even the whole event is running on virtually. So this is just a good sign, or this is an indication of how successful can be working virtually if it's planned the right way. Also with team, you get more ideas. You are multiplying the expertise of others. You are adding it to your expertise. And you are also dividing the tasks, dividing the responsibilities, okay? You are also practicing real work conditions. You are listening to them, and you feel that everyone is in charge, everyone is responsible, everyone is liable to what he's been assigned to do, and everyone feels ownership of this project. Okay, that is really a successful team. This makes a successful project team. Third question you need to answer is how you are going to start. The first thing is you need to understand what you are planning to do. You need to define exactly the problem or the question that you want to solve. So you need to tell a story about your project. You need to get the shareholders or your clients at the end of the day interested about your project, or maybe your sponsor to be interested really about your project. So you need, first of all, you yourself, you need to understand your project. You need to understand and define what is your problem, or what is the problem that you want to work on. Then you need to study the background, maybe do some research, market research, literature review about your idea or your project or the problem. See the history. Okay. Then you can sit with your team and set goals and objectives for your project and decide on the methods that you are going to use, because there are different methods. Okay. Then you make a plan and you estimate the outcomes and the impact. You do also risk assessment to see what are the risks alongside your project and how you can mitigate these risks. And you need to follow the innovation theory that I suggest here is an ABC, but there are also other methods that you can use. Okay. So these are, you need to do and plan, you need to have these planned at the beginning. Okay. Please let me know if anything is not clear, or if you cannot hear me. I hope my voice is clear, so continue. Then you need to answer, why is this important, and why I am dividing the work into processes, and why, what is the justification for each process? What are my milestones of the project? Okay. And also I need to understand, will my project be like engineering project? Is it a student project? Okay. Is it a program? Is it an application I'm building, a mobile application? These are all projects. They are considered projects. So you need to understand what are the processes involved. You need to divide the work into steps or tasks and justify and explain each task, and what are the risks involved in each of these tasks, and how we can mitigate this risk or this delay. And you need to put any necessary details or resources that are needed to fulfill or complete or accomplish this task or step. Question 5, and this is really, it should be number 1 actually, but it is the communication. Communication, why it is important? Communication is important because you need to understand the problem and you need to convey your message or your idea and method in a very good way to your team and to your clients and to the world, depending on your project. Okay. Also, you need to do the things that need to be done only, meaning that you need to be following a plan. Okay. When you are communicating with your team, you need to make sure that your thoughts are understood, that the message is communicated. Okay. You should also be flexible. You are willing to accept others' ideas and maybe adjust or modify your idea, and okay, in a professional way. And all this should be documented, of course. Question number 6 is, what is your project impact? What are the good results from the project? Is it solving a problem? To whom is it useful? Who are my clients? Okay, who will be interested in my project or on my solution? Okay, also, is it feasible? You see, you can have the best in its class. You can have a solution that is the best in its class, but this does not guarantee your project success. In other words, even if I have a very good solution, if this solution is not feasible, if it cannot be implemented, then it will not be successful. Although it can solve the problem, but it's not feasible, it's not practical, it's not efficient. Okay. And also, your project should have good impact and improvement of a current operation. So there is a process that we are following now, but your solution or your project is to improve this process. Okay, this is also an innovation. The output should be measurable and determined by the objective definition. Okay, in question 1. It should also be accepted by the customer. I like to call this compliance. So it should be compliance accepted by the customer and accepted by the authorities. So it should be a legal project, legal solution. Okay, so you should make sure you are following the laws and ethics in your technology. Now let's talk about the innovation model that I have chosen to talk about today. I've chosen this method because it was developed by a research institute, university research institute, and it is used to frame the development and communication of innovative solutions based on user needs and value creations. Okay, so it will enable the idea makers to present their idea, okay, and at the same time increase their value using a range of central parameters. In other words, you have an idea. You want to be able to present your idea, to develop your idea, to work with a team, and to put your idea on papers or on a presentation, working with your team, collaborating with your team. Okay, so you need to follow this innovation model and ABC to succeed in your project. And ABC has 4 phases. N is for needs, A for approach, B for benefits, and C for your competitors or competition. Needs. Needs is about user needs as the foundation of the development of a process. Okay, and ABC, by the way, is user needs, is focused on user needs. Okay. The approach. Approach focuses on the idea approach that will address the user needs. How you are going to analyze, what method of analysis you will use. Okay. Then B for benefits or advantages of your solution, or what is the impact of your project or solution, okay, if it is implemented. C, very important, it is about your competitors. You need to do a market research. You need to study the market. You make sure that your project is resilient, and it should be always able to compete with other big players in that field or in that technology. I mean, it depends actually on what is your project, okay? But it should be competitive, it should be scalable, and it should be resilient. Here we have an ABC diagram. First thing is you are building your solution. You are building you are getting the data, building the idea, okay? Defining your focus, the scope of your project. Then you are building the opportunity, telling your story, which should be interesting, okay? Then you build your solution. So you are first of all getting the data, defining the focus and scope. What is the opportunity? What is the niche there that you can work on or improve, or where you can innovate? Then you need to build your solution, design, develop, and build your solution and come up with a prototype, successful prototype. Then you will do the testing and feedback, or testing and getting the feedback from the users, and improve your prototype. Then you can, after you are doing all of that, then you can implement, and thinking about not only to implement it for, and you have to go beyond the prototype. Now you have proven that your product is successful. You need to be able to implement it to the stakeholders or to the clients that you have in your plan. And also, the last but not least, you have to think about the competition. As I mentioned earlier, even if you have the best solution technically, and it is solving a problem, this does not mean that your solution or project will succeed, because you have to consider all of the factors that we have talked about in an ABC and the 6 questions that we answered at the beginning. I like this part here. These are some of the creative tools for projects. Even for you students, you can use some of those tools for when you are working in a competition or participating to build your innovation idea. First of all, you can use Slack. By the way, Slack is a proprietary software. It is a messaging application that's instant messaging and email all rolled into, it was originally, okay, all rolled in one. I myself use Yammer, okay, but your organization or institution should be using Yammer in order to use Yammer, but Slack is also good, and it's available in some of the universities, okay, especially for the college. Many colleges, they use Slack, and it is successful. For your presentation, you can use PowerPoint, but the problem with PowerPoint is most of the time it's linear. People sometimes get bored. So there should be some innovative way to present. There are some good tools or good application for presenting, such as Prezi. Okay, Prezi is you can help you to create dynamic, more mind map like zooming presentations. Okay, and it's free. It's free for students. Okay, if your institution is registered. You can zoom in, zoom out. Although nowadays PowerPoint also can do some of these features, but Prezi is made upon these features. So it has a lot of tools to do that. We have also a Glivy. It's very helpful to if you need to create flow charts, site maps, or network diagrams, and it has many collaboration features. Okay, and it is the nice thing about it is it can be added as an extension to your web browser. Okay. Now, as you know, while you are writing your ideas, and if you are need to use citation and need to cite these references, and you need to follow the proper format asked by the your client, then you need to a good tool that can help you to do that is called Easy BIB. Okay, Easy BIB is it helps you to get the citation right, and whether the reference is website, book, newspaper, journal, video, it will help you to put the proper or to insert the proper citation and references at the end. Now, some of you might say, well, we can use Microsoft Word. Citation is there in Microsoft Word. Yes, you are right. But some people, maybe they are not using Microsoft Word. Okay. So Easy BIB is a tool that you can use for the citation. We have also Balsamic Mockups. It is a software tool to sketch out user interface for websites and web or desktop mobile or mobile applications. I need water. So the good thing about it is it has some pre-built widgets using the drag and drop and WYSIWYG edit. Okay, that's the good thing about it. But there are other tools as well that you can use. Also, I like OneNote. The good thing about OneNote here, OneNote is by Microsoft, of course. With OneNote, you can collaborate with your team members. You can add and track the changes on a document. And let's say your project has a video. You can drag and paste that video on your project in OneNote. Some PDF, Excel sheet, PowerPoint. You can copy and paste them all to your canvas in OneNote. There are plenty of tools. But considering the time, I think, and I try to group some of the new tools or tools that are suitable for students. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Okay, then I'll stop the share. Thank you. Thank you very much. You are welcome.
دكتور تمام كده. في اي حد عنده اي استفسار او اي سؤال؟
I think we are done here. I have I think there is no questions. I cannot see any question now.
Okay, thank you, doctor, for your time. Appreciating your efforts.
You are mostly welcome. You are mostly welcome. Thank you. I will leave now. Thank you.